Good morning. Welcome to the Better Business Workshop. Today we're looking at team and suggesting that together everyone achieves more. It's great to see you. And before we dive into this content, just want to remind you, we've got a great session again today at lunchtime at 12:30, working with business owners and helping them to restart their businesses as the economy starts to get back up and running. So there's a drop-in session at 12:30 over on Zoom. You can sign up for that by going to our website, go to miltonkeynes.actioncoach.co.uk/events, and you'll see a little area there where you can sign up and join us at 12:30. We look forward to seeing you there. So I'm joined by my colleague today, by Mark Miller, who's going to help me go through team. Good morning, Mark. How are you doing? Nice to see you.
Yep, good morning. This is good. It's a good subject, this one, Mark. This is the way to get our businesses working well enough to free us up.
Absolutely, Mark, and that's the name of the game, right? So let's get straight into this content. If I can get this slide going here, there we go. Lovely. So, Mark, absolutely. So why have a team?
So the obvious point that we're trying to reach is that we're free to do what we want with our time and with our money. To get to that stage, other people have got to be running our stuff for us, and any business can grow to a stage where that can happen. But it needs planning, Mark. Most of us start off working on ourselves, maybe working with a partner, and things are going great because we're enthusiastic about our trade. We're good at it. People like us. Then we start to think, maybe I can get other people involved, and that's the point at which we start to plan to delegate.
Yeah.
What I'd encourage people is plan to delegate a lot earlier than you think you're going to plan to delegate.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the pressure to build up. Put a plan in that says, okay, by this time in the future, maybe weeks away or months away, I'm going to start either subcontracting to start with, if you wish, some work.
Yeah.
If not, then the preference would be part-time employment of somebody or full-time employment, to begin to offload some of the stuff that can be repeated by somebody else. It has to be planned.
Absolutely, Mark. Look, and we see this so often with a lot of the solopreneurs that we work with, that they spend so much time being busy doing everything that they actually never get a lot of stuff off their plate, and so the business growth stifles.
Yeah.
When there's stuff, the high value stuff that the stuff that only the business owner can do, doesn't get done because he's so busy doing all the routine stuff that should be done by the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and if you're working on your own or with a partner in a business, you're not running a business. I learned this the hard way. I thought I was running a business for many, many years, and I wasn't running a business at all. I was running a job.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was managing the job great. I was getting paid for it great, but it was a job, and taking a holiday or a break was tough. And how I was eventually going to get the lifestyle I wanted, which I dreamed of when I started, was just beyond me. So you have to plan to bring other people in, and it's not when you're ready. Don't think about, I've got to get to a stage where I'm turning over enough money to make it happen. Don't think that way. Think the way of, I'm going to plan to do it, and I'm going to start figuring how to do it now.
Yeah.
And no, it's not immediate. It's not next week, but I'm going to plan to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Plan for other people to do the routine tasks so that you can go and be the rainmaker in your business. And as you rightly said, look, if you're not doing that, then all you've got is a job. You've basically created a job for yourself. You don't really have a business. Good. All right. Okay, Mark. So let's kind of go on there. So what do we mean by team?
So the whole idea, of course, is you can get more done than you can get done for yourself. And there's a lot in team that we can go into. We won't do today. There's a lot in team about getting a team to achieve. A good thing is to look at the best sports teams, look at the best achievers in groups, the teams in the forces, teams in business, teams in sport, teams in charities work really, really well in crisis situations. Rescue teams. Look at those that really, really work well. You get specialists, but you get a joint sense of responsibility. Everybody is committed to each other as well as to the business. Now, this is the trick. You bring people in not to do jobs. You bring people in to commit to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this whole thing about team and business has kind of got a bit of a bad name over the last few years. We kind of hear so much about team building, which is kind of having a nice time. but running a business isn't about having a nice time, right? It's about getting stuff done. So, well, high-performing teams don't always get along, but they're very, very good at getting stuff done, and that's what's critical. So, as you're hiring your team, you need the team to perform to get the stuff done. It's a bit like sports teams, Mark, as you said. What if think about how football teams work. When they go out and hire their players, they hire players to perform really, really well on a fixed period of time over a contract, right? And at the end of that contract, there's a review to say, okay, well, how well did you perform? Did you hit your KPIs, whatever those KPIs might be? Games won, goals scored, goals saved, etc. And they either get rehired or fired, essentially, at the end of that period, right? So what about if we run our businesses a bit like that with our teams as well? Ultimately, yes, we want to be good people, and we want to be liked, but ultimately we've got to get stuff done, right?
Yeah, and I'll give you a quick story. I think it was Cisco. I don't want to blame and name them, but there's been a couple of large companies that had a kind of 3% rule that every year they'd sack the bottom 3% performers.
Jack Welch.
Workforce, right?
Jack Welch famously said, General Electric, fire the bottom 3%, right?
Yeah. Now, whether you advocate that or not, I personally don't, because you might have you have a small team. You're not going to apply 3% rule, are you? So, but the point is, they're measuring performance and they're improving performance. Now, you don't have to do it by sacking the bottom performers. You can develop them up, but it's got to be a performance based. Now, the Army have three rules for a great team, and they produce amazing teams. People are prepared to to defend each other to the death. So that's a pretty good team. So the Army have three things. A good team knows exactly what it's going to achieve. That's its objectives. Each individual knows their individual objectives, and there's a celebration of unity or team achievement as well as the objectives. So there's the objectives, the individual, and the team. And they keep focusing on these three things, banging away at these three things. And if we bang away at those three things, we'll get a group of people that really take our business on with pride, make us proud, and free us up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good, Mark. Great content. That's brilliant. Thank you. That's a really good build. So what about the leadership within that then? We're going to do a separate session on leadership.
Yeah. So here's the mistake I've made, and a mistake a lot of people make in teams. We naturally like people who are like us, right? We get on with them really well. So we think, he thinks like me, or she thinks like me, I'll get them in my team. And that's when the problem starts. Because the whole point about a team, there's 8 things a team have got to achieve. We won't go through them now, but they've got to achieve 8 main things, and not one person can do the whole lot. So we have to recruit people who are different to ourselves. Now that's a real tough situation to do. But so many times see people recruit people that are the same as themselves, and then you get the communication back, as that slide saying, which is the response you're getting back from the business is what you're feeding out. So all of your weaknesses come back to you. They're all reflected in the people that you recruit if you recruit somebody the same. If you're getting tough times with your team, it's because of what you're giving out. That's what we're saying on this slide here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, the danger as a business owner or as a business leader is to think that because you hire people, you can tell them what to do and not treat them as well as they need to be treated. Somebody gave me a great piece of advice a few years ago, and they said, what if you treated your team as though they were all volunteers? And that they didn't have to come back tomorrow if they didn't want to. Right. Would that change the way that you led your team? And I think it kind of frames that quite nicely, and it kind of puts this statement in quite good perspective. That at the end of the day, the way that you lead and communicate with your team is based on the way that they feed back to you, and that they will vote with their feet ultimately. So that frames that quite nicely.
Yeah, and here we go. This is the biggest and the final bit on this. This is the biggest responsibility of any entrepreneur who wants to become free from their business with the lifestyle they want and make their business really, really powerful. Is this ability to get others to replicate and to do the business is really, really, really tough. And so what we need to do is make a really, really clear decision that we're going to empower other people. We're going to make it work. We're going to recruit them, and it's no use at that stage saying, well, they don't work, they're not as good as me, they're not achieving this, because if we're getting those feelings, that's because of what we're communicating. That's what we're saying here, Mark, right? So we need to communicate in such a way that's getting the results that we want, and there are ways to do that. It's a critical thing.
All right, great, brilliant, Mark, good stuff. So, folks, We'll be back here again tomorrow. There's a ton more content over on our social media channels. Go and have a look for the Better Business Workshop on for our Facebook group, our LinkedIn group, and over on YouTube as well. If you want to jump on a call with us and talk about how you can develop your teams and how we can help you to do that, then go to calendly.com/action coach Milton Keynes, and we'd love to jump on a call with you. Or hop over onto the website at miltonkeynes.actioncoach.co.uk. As I said, we'll be back here again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Before that, Mark, we'll be here at 12:30 today for the drop-in session. So, folks, look, if you want to come and get any of that support, if there's anything that you want to talk about, need help, or you just want to kind of get an external view on or share something with other people, then come and jump on that session with us at 12:30, and you can book yourself onto that by going to miltonkeynes.actioncoach.co.uk/events, and we'd love to see you there. Mark, I'll see you at 12:30. Thanks ever so much.
Take care.
Cheers, Mark. Bye now.
Bye.